Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. I am here with the co-founder of GoHighLevel, Shaun Clark. Shaun.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Awesome. You probably don't remember this, but you did my
Probably
initial,
not.
but you did our initial onboarding call. We were still so early with HighLevel that you actually helped onboard us, which I am still extremely thankful for.
That's very cool. Yeah, what's funny is I still do those sometimes. So I have not gotten away from that. I try to do more on the aftermath now than the upfront. But yeah, absolutely. I miss those calls. Those were fun calls because I had a good time meeting people and helping them get started.
That is amazing. So for our audience in the mortgage industry, so I'm a huge proponent of HighLevel. Our software, Connect My Leads, is powered by HighLevel, and we have watched you build an absolutely amazing company. So for those listeners that may not have heard of HighLevel, can you tell us
Sure.
what it is, what it does, and what the main value proposition is?
Well, it's changed quite a bit over the years. So now I'd say it does everything. But no, I mean, it's a sales and CRM marketing automation platform that basically it was built, kind of by marketers for marketers. So think about every feature you need to really run your business, but more importantly, to try to help you get more leads and convert those leads into actual paying customers. Because from the very get-go, we worked with people whose mission was to get their clients more actual business. And so the way that the whole system is sort of built is it's all the features that you need to actually achieve that versus I think a lot of other software platforms, it's sort of like, here's a bunch of features and we don't know or have a connection to anybody who knows how to actually make this stuff turn into money. And we always started with the people who know how to make it turn into money. So every feature we have is really around that idea, but it's got website builders and funnel builders and two-way text messaging and CRM and email marketing and on and on and on and on.
It is incredibly diverse, and it has a phone system as well. Our concierge
Of course, yes.
program, we use that to make all of our outbound phone calls, automate that with emails and text messages, and the calendar booking integrates with your calendar. So you can go all the way from making all your database calls all the way through to an actual booked appointment on your calendar, and HighLevel handles everything in between.
There you go. Exactly. And a lot of AI these days sprinkled in to help kind of automate a lot of that even then.
Awesome, which I have a ton of questions on, but I did want to start with your growth story. If you could just
Sure.
very briefly surmise, you co-founded HighLevel, and now, where are you at right now as far as a company? You got the conference coming up, some huge numbers.
700 employees, 50,000 direct customers, but that plays out to 6 or 700,000 in businesses and several million users.
That is just absolutely incredible. Congratulations.
It is. Yeah, I have nothing to do with it really. I kind of fell into this, so I just feel lucky to be here.
That is amazing. So I know that you are at a very high level in the company, but I'm wondering if you have any direct use cases for people in the mortgage and the real estate industry that are using HighLevel that you've seen wow, these people are just absolutely knocking it out of the park with the software. What are they doing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, ironically enough, I don't know that the patterns and this I think is a positive thing. The patterns in business, depending on almost no matter what you're selling, are very similar, if not the same, right? And so we each kind of wake up in our own industries and we think, gosh, everything we do is super hyper special. But a lot of the early pieces, particularly, are actually not. And so today, I would say the challenge is almost the same as it's always been, which is the people who nurture their leads the best are the ones who win. So when we ever think about our businesses and we're like, oh, do we need more leads? We all say, yeah, we need more leads, rah. But in reality, if we think about what we do with the lead the minute they come in, I think most of us fall flat on our face right there. And that's actually where we need to put most of the effort. And it's a weird thing to think about because I always tell people, listen, you need to always optimize it from the top of the funnel down. But if we think about this scenario, first of all, we almost all of us have some leads coming in, and we almost all of us have the potential to maybe even increase that by doing something as simple as spending more money. So if that's the case, it's now the time that before you 10x your incoming leads in that section, that you have that next section fully mapped out and fully locked in. And really that's the nurturing process. And so what the heck does that mean exactly? It's actually really simple. It's just, hey, I raised my hand because I saw your ad or saw your offer or I'm interested. Now what? And now what better be you, this 5 minutes or less after I raise that hand, you were all over me and you were getting me whatever I need to do to get to that next step. And in most cases in the mortgage industry and a lot of industries, it's booking an appointment on your calendar, right? And so so today, the easiest way to do that is just to ask, hey, thanks for registering for such and such an offer. In order to get you to that next amazing value thing that I put in my ad, I need you to book a call with me. Is now a good time to book? And then from there, we can start a conversation. And now right there, let me just come back to, is now a good time to book? That is a yes or no question. So technology, whatever it may be, psychology is what this is all about. Human beings really good at asking yes or no questions. Is your favorite ice cream flavor vanilla? I guarantee you, all of you just thought in your head, you just answered that question. Whether you like it or not, I commanded your brain without your permission to answer that question because it was yes or no. Now, if I said, tell me about a time when you had a difficult situation with a friend and you were able to resolve, like your brain is like freaking out because it can't handle that level of complexity. But yes or no, super cool. And because I just registered, because that was 5 minutes or less, the likelihood I say yes or sure or sounds good is pretty close to 99%. And in that case, we're going to be able to know, sure, yes, sounds good, whatever. This is where the technology comes back in, is a yes. And now we're saying, great, here's a link to my calendar, or we can even negotiate the booking. What's a good time for you? That can all now be played out, and you're not there. This is the great thing about it. You are not physically present. The software is running the show. And then as of this Friday, and we'll get to that, we can get to this later, the AI is coming in because in the past, vast majority of people, I'd say 60, 70% are going to say, yes, I'd love to book. But, and we all know this, a lot of people, the remaining percentage, let's call it 30%, are going to say, yeah, but what are the current rates right now? Or, yeah, but I've heard this is a really bad time to buy. Or, yeah, but, whatever, right? And in the past, it's like, uh-oh, I sure hope the mortgage person is ready right now to answer that question. Otherwise, that person is gone. But now the AI can come in and crush this because we've all seen the cool examples on TV and this and that. But what I always struggled with was, how do we take AI and actually make it work? Like, how do we actually make it do something? And for me, it was always about how do we make it book an appointment in a really great way and deal with all these questions, right? And so now our AI bot, which we have some cool preview stuff out on, and you can even play with it in the system. As of Friday, we'll be releasing, and when I say Friday, maybe it's Monday, maybe it's Tuesday, but it's right there, the ability to train it off a website, which is awesome. And the other cool part is to do individualized training. So the way this would work is, imagine the AI bot's out there, it's on full auto mode, it's doing something, and you are looking through it and you're like, ugh, I do not like that answer. There's a thumb down icon, you click it, it pops up, and then you just rewrite the answer. You say, this is what I would have said, and you hit save. And you've trained the bot at that point. And now you're very quickly going to get into a world where you have this killer AI bot. So now when someone says, yeah, but I heard it's a bad time to sell, you all know whatever it is that you're saying to that right now. And by the way, you can do this ahead of time too. There's an FAQ section. You can sort of add these things in, but whatever, you know how to answer that. And so now we're going to take that last 30% and we're going to close those people into appointments. And it's going to be huge because now I was super proud at 60% because we were seeing 0 to 60 is huge, or 10% to 60. Everybody says, oh, that's 50 more percent. I say, heck, no, it's not. It's 600% because you got to do the math, right? It's a differential, or 500%. I don't know, but it's not 50%. I'll tell you that. But now we're going to take that last mile and we're really going to get to a place where we can bring everybody into a booked appointment. And why, again, is this all important? Because when you know that's dialed in, you just go back to Facebook or Google or whatever, and you say, great, take my budget up 10x. I don't care, because now I'm a one-person mortgage selling machine because I don't need to be answering all of these queries myself. And when they come in, honestly, at 6 o'clock at night, 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, I can sleep because I know the system is in there rocking it for me, and I can just wake up to these booked appointments and be ready to do what it is that a computer can't.
That is absolutely incredible. And I have been playing with the AI chat bot in the background, and it is just incredible. So I'm incredibly excited for that rollout.
And it's only going to get better. This is the fun part about it. And what we did this release a little differently, I think a lot because we're very hesitant about this technology. We were initially very late to it because we were, it was like, oh, it's cool that CNN did a story or whatever, but how can our customers actually using it? And initially it was like, well, no. And then when they did, it wasn't chat, it was content. It was write a website for me or write a blog article, this or that. So we added that first, and then it was generate an image for me. So then we added that next. And throughout all of this, we were already playing in the background with the bot. And to be honest, we didn't really wait on this one until we saw the people doing it. But we got to a point where we were pretty happy with it. But we were like, as cool as we think it is, let's make sure other people think it's cool. So we actually private beta this, which I hate doing because it takes longer. But we did this with some big customers around a lot of big data sets, and we got a lot of great feedback. And we made sure that it was quality sort of from day one. And because we knew that if we were going to put this on a conversation with your clients and your leads, it better be ready to rock. So I'm pretty proud to say that it's going to be phenomenal out of the gate.
That is absolutely incredible. The question that I have about the bot is, are we going to be able to train it for different conversations with different styles of people? Because we run campaigns to past customers, and we leverage HighLevel for calling past customers, but emails, text message campaigns in order to do that past customer conversation, which is totally different than a new inbound lead. But we're also doing referral partners as well. So we're reaching out to real
Okay, so let's talk about this. So like, my problem with people like you is that you're too advanced. So the answer is of course, right? But why we're going to release it like version 1 first, because here's what I want to hear. I want to hear I got all my customers on it.
Right.
We're ready now. I've got that first use case locked in. And it's not just you, because lucky for the people who are listening to this, they have you. But for all the people who are the other agencies out there who are working with plumbers and don't have a guy like you, I want them to get that on the plumber's website, because it's going to have just the same impact. Again, back to the fact that all of these flows are the same. When all of us contact the plumber, we're trying to book an appointment. We really are. We want, we have a need. We need that person out here to give us an estimate or fix a problem or whatever it is. So will we allow that? Heck yes. But on day one, no, because I want to make sure that A, you put it in place and you get it to work. B, you're happy with it for the new lead case or whatever case you choose. And then from there, I promise we will let you do as many bots as you want, and we will let you target different personas and kind of go gangbusters with it for sure, and really customize it till the cows come home. So we will own this space, because it's very much, in my opinion, kind of in our box, as I like to call it, of the things that we are going to do well.
That is awesome. And so to be clear for myself, but also for the listeners, so we've got the bot, which is basically like a chat bot that you can put on your website. It has a conversational dialogue with people on the website.
So we took a little bit of a different tact here. Okay. So we said, okay, how do we simplify this? So instead of making you like create a workflow or attach it to a specific thing like a chat, it actually operates across channels. It doesn't care how the conversation started. So it could be SMS, it could be WhatsApp, it could be Facebook Messenger, it could be Instagram DMs, it could be GMD chat. Any of those channels, it's centralized. It's sitting there looking at the high end at all the channels, and it's talking at people through all these channels, regardless of where they came from. And in order to also facilitate, so that this is the thing. If you've been in this community for a long amount of time, you've seen me sort of retort at people for the same question in the same way consistently. They're like, do you have live chat? And I always say, no, because go ahead and put live chat on and watch your customer lose person after person after person, because they cannot respond within 10 seconds or less. And I actually think if you hard count 10 seconds, I'm being generous. Most of us will not sit there and be like, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Like, I'm going to wait for this agent to, no, we're gone. We're going to the competitor. But now with AI, we're going to be adding real live chat, because it will work, because the technology is finally there.
Yes. That is absolutely incredible. And that's where I was going is, it doesn't matter if you launch a campaign to your past customer database and those people email you or text you or respond back to you on social media or go to your website and engage the website, it doesn't matter. The AI bot is going to have all of those conversations for you.
Correct. And on day one, we're going to start with all of the real-time conversations. And then the mission there is just to expand out from there, right? So when social media listening goes live in Q4, we'll also have the AI bot be able to do those things. And I think what we're going to learn is context will matter. So I think like an email response and a social media response will actually be radically different than an SMS response, right? And so I think that this is what's so much fun about what we do and the way we do it is we learn from our customers. And we're able to, and in fact, actually, great example is reviews. We already have review AI currently in the platform. Do you see this? Have you played with this yet?
No, I haven't. I've seen it, but I haven't played with it.
Okay, so I talked to a person just like 20 minutes ago. She's been playing with it. She says it's amazing. And really, this is about the idea that, look, you get a review, right? And you need to respond. And this is great for two reasons. One, it is the only place I personally know of where you can tell Google, hey, these are the keywords I want you to inject into my profile and listen to me. And wouldn't you know it, don't ask me, go Google. I actually think this is a Canadian company that does this. They have the like the preeminent SEO sort of like report of the year, where they go out to all of the luminaries of SEO and they ask them like, what's going on with ranking? What makes ranking? Guess what? People who reply to reviews, they have higher rankings than people who don't. Yep. But it's hard to get our clients to go in and do all that. And so now the AI will actually do it for you, but context matters. So the responses to a review, we can all appreciate, are radically different. When someone says, I hate you guys, you're terrible, we're going to respond to that differently than over an SMS than we might on a review. And we've made that contextual split there. And so we're obviously going to turn this on full auto here in a minute. It's going to be awesome, but it's going to respond differently to that sort of review than if someone were to chat that in. Because if you chat that in, I know how I'd react to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Can we get on a call right now? Because I know who you are, right? But a review, it's like, oh, snap, I don't really know who you are. So I have to see like, oh, I'm so sorry you had a bad experience. We'd love to make that right for you. Please reach out to me at this email or this phone number or whatever, so we can connect, right? Two different similar styles of responses, but different because of the context. So anyhow, this will play out, I think, in social media and email, and who knows, maybe we'll go to voice and video someday.
So we're playing with a voice system right now, which is absolutely incredible. But Shaun, the speed at which you guys are implementing these features and the quality of them as they come out is just absolutely incredible. And for somebody, because I think that's the one use case that every small business has been looking for with AI, is how do I get it to automatically respond to my emails? How do I get it to automatically? It's like, okay, I can get an email, take it over to ChatGPT, it writes the response.
This is where the technology falls flat, right? And you can see the engine, you can see how cool it is, you can see how, but you're right, you've got to connect these two pieces together. And this is where the values of the platforms can come in. And I truly think this is how this is going to work in the future. It's going to be full auto or bust. And we're not going to even think about it like this soon enough. I think this is just going to become table stakes.
Yeah.
It's just making sure the responses are good enough that the person on the other side is satisfied. Now, interestingly, I don't think we have to pretend to be human. I think this idea will be, it's sort of like, I've seen these places, like, have you seen a robot in like an airport or a hotel lobby? Have you ever had this experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason we hate them isn't because they're robots. I think it's because they don't do anything interesting. Right. Like one I had, like, it was in a hotel and you could go in, you could say like, oh, I want to go to this restaurant. And it would like walk you to the restaurant. It just wasn't enough. Like the work required to get the value, garbage. Like I just need someone to say, go that way or go that way. Because the person who designed the hotel, right, they didn't design it as like a maze. They designed it as like an easy, relatively easy place to navigate. So you just need to go left, go right, go down, go up. It's like two things. So the robot sucks at that. But I think that if the robot could like check me in, right, and ask me the questions, and I could relay the information, I could even have to scan my passport, I don't know. If it could do all that for me, well then hallelujah, that'd be great. I don't care that it's a robot. So same thing here. I think that people won't mind talking to AI, even if they know it's AI, so long as the responses are good, right? They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be exceptional. They have to be good enough. And I think we're right at that point where, at least with chat, with email, with social posting, that sort of thing, I think we're at that moment. And I think it sounds to me like voice and video, at least as I've seen it so far, they're getting there, but we're not quite there yet.
Yep, absolutely. And that will be phenomenal to watch roll out. So
agreed.
Advancing the conversation a little bit further into HighLevel, I believe, is a best-in-class solution. We've been using it for years and years and years. And one of the problems that we come up against with our clients is that it doesn't integrate with a system called Encompass, or let's call it loan writing software. So is, people are submitting their documentations, but that's creating a pipeline.
We're going to have documents here soon, by the way, just so you know. I just saw a preview of it.
Phenomenal. So through API, are we able to connect to a loan processing software?
Well, I mean, of course, right? Okay. So we have invested countless amounts of money. We have full-time team members that just sit around all day and write API code. And the way I've thought about it is, I call it our box, but I mean, I sort of say like, okay, everything in whatever this box is, and it moves a little bit every so often, we're going to own that. we're gonna crush it. We're gonna be the best in class at it. And while now we would never, one thing I will make very clear here, we will never discourage a competitor from being. If we have a competitor tomorrow who comes along and uses our API, I learned this from Intuit because they did this for me, and they showed this to me. Quick story is I had my past SaaS company. It was an add-on for QuickBooks, and I did something that was unique. But they would have payroll companies come in, and I would be like, "What is wrong with you idiots? These people do payroll, and you guys do payroll. Why would you let them in your market?" And I got a beautiful response, which was, "We don't want to play that game. We don't care if you like Gusto payroll and not QuickBooks payroll, but you're still a QuickBooks customer. Well, then more power to you." And I was like, "Gosh, what an amazing! If a multi-billion-dollar publicly traded company can take that route, we're going to take that route too." So, be that as it may, that's great. Now, outside of that box, the Compass real estates and this and that, please, for gosh sakes, we are killing ourselves to make our APIs open as humanly possible because we're never getting into that game. But we cannot wait for people to come in. And the beautiful thing is the people who come in, we do things that no one does. I mean, we will put you on a spotlight session. We will blast you out to our list. We will put you on our Facebook group. I mean, we'll put you on our YouTube channel. We will get you so much business. It's not even funny because we want those people, right? Because we know there are these, I think of them as industry specific cases, just like you've highlighted, where the best option for us is to have a great integration done. And whoever does it, all I can promise that person is we'll make them a lot of money because we will take this best in class system that you described and hook it up to this system that they need. And that honestly is way outside our wheelhouse.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And that's such a refreshing perspective to see, not only from an individual, from a company perspective, especially playing in the CRM space. Everybody, it's just absolutely fun.
Well, and what's funny? We're doing some weird stuff. So we found that like there's some weird, like EHRs are like this. For some reason, they're the worst people on the planet when it comes to APIs. They just don't have them. And you know what it is? Because they're selfish. In fact, I got contacted. I will not burn their name on the show. I got contacted by a Canadian EHR that is relatively popular early on, asking about an integration. And I thought, you know what's great? They're Canadians. They're going to come through. They're going to be not selfish people. That is why Canada is so amazing. And they said no. And I am just beside myself at the fact that they wouldn't do this, because you know what we would do? We would promote the heck out of them and we'd make them so much more money, but they won't do it. So you know what we're doing? In some of these areas, we're just going out and trying to find people and saying, listen, are you an up and coming EHR or whatever? And we want to find somebody who's legit, has a couple hundred customers, not a pure startup, but somebody who can if we recommend them or can rep that, hey, yeah, we do this for real, but we're going to just find someone tonight and say, all right, everybody, here's the EHR you can go sell because they're fully integrated. And I'd love to do that in the mortgage industry. So if anybody out there is listening who knows somebody who's got something that solves for this, please, we could help them tremendously grow their business. And they would help all of us because we both know that if we had this seamless integration, gosh, the world will be on fire.
That is amazing. Well, I personally want to put my team on the integration between that Encompass system and HighLevel and open call.
Please do. We'll promote the heck out of you.
Awesome. Right on. Okay. Now, final question, Shaun, because I have a tremendous amount of respect for you as an entrepreneur. And I'm just wondering what your philosophy is on growth, because you guys have gone through like rapid scale from startup to now, investors, seed rounds, all that wonderful stuff. Like, what's your personal philosophy on HighLevel and how you look at the business every day?
How are we helping grow our customers' businesses? We track like a hawk the amount of money that our SaaSpreneurs are making and our customers are bringing through the system. And we are asking ourselves every day how to grow that, because we have not changed our stance since the get-go, which is we've always believed that if we are making money for our customers, we'll be fine. And honestly, what I have learned through this process is the mechanics will change. Some of the policies and procedures and this and that will change, but the DNA of the company cannot change. And I would say, if anything, over time, I stopped doing onboardings when I knew that I wasn't serving customers by doing them because I couldn't get to them all. Right. And so I knew that I had to put a team in place because it was scalable. But now what I look for is I look for that team to violate the DNA, and I guard it like you wouldn't believe. Because the second I hear someone say something stupid, like our policy says, I just burn it at the stake. I am ruthless when it comes to policy, because I find that the way people are in life is we all think about our own comfort, right? We think, gosh, how do I make my life easier? Now, we don't say it that way. We think, what is a good system to design to do blah, blah, blah. But what it really ends up doing is it tends to take whatever, like the crappy part, the painful part, it tends to push it back onto the customer and not ourselves. Yep. So I look for every place where that is, and I just annihilate it. And I say, listen, if it's painful, if it is difficult, if there is suffering, you will bear it. We will bear it. We will pay for it. I do not care, because at the end of the day, we are here to serve our customer. And the last thing we're going to do is make them go through a crappy process. If there's a crappy process to go through, we're going to go through it. And we can make it better. We can automate it. We can get rid of all of it. We can make it perfect. But we will never do that at the expense of our customer. And I think for me, that is really the big change that has occurred. I spend most of my time hunting down bad decisions in action so that I can stop them before they get out. And for the ones that get out, I destroy them as soon as I find them. And sometimes you get a lot of angry, hurt feelings, but it's like, listen, that was a bad decision from the very get-go. You should have known better, because that's not our DNA. So that's really the only change. But it is about realizing that whatever got you here, a lot of it will get you there. And honestly, the crazier people think you are, the better you're probably doing.
Huh. That is absolutely incredible. Awesome. Shaun, thank you so much. And
man, thanks for having me. This is great.
Oh, man. It is always a pleasure. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Level Up Summit.
Absolutely.
And yeah, thank you for being on the show. All of the information for this will be in the show notes below. And for those of you, there is going to be our affiliate link for HighLevel in the show notes, but also our version of Connect My Leads, because we have customized it for the mortgage industry. And Shaun, thank you so much for giving us a platform.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. Thanks, everybody.